Hello, welcome back to our magic circle workouts. I'm going to do an upper body magic circle workout this evening to add on to our lower body circle workout that we did last week. We'll start standing upright for our warm-up. Now we want to make sure that we really connect to the shoulder, stabilize the muscles as well as the chest, which is what we're going to be establishing resistance on the circle with. We're going to be standing upright with our knees soft and our feet hip width. Now we're going to begin with a very simple placement of the circle between the bottom heel of your palm. Shoulders melt down away from your ears. Take a nice soft breath in here. Now on your next exhale, as you start to switch on the transverse belt, that 1-inch band of muscles that wraps around the front of your hip bones, you want to think about adapting some resistance onto the circle. So as you exhale and think about those abdominals flattening from hip to hip, you also begin to flatten the circle between your palms, squeeze and feel that you are switching on your serratus anterior and your chest muscle. Inhale, softly release the circle, keep the abdominals on. Exhale, chest squeeze, and inhale, release. Good, we're just going to go for a few reps here. Exhale and inhale. As you're doing your chest squeeze, you also want to make sure that you feel pretty comfortable in a neutral spine position. You don't want to feel like the tailbone's being pushed upwards. We actually want to feel like we're pretty strong in a neutral pelvis placement, and we're allowing to support a neutral spine with that abdominal connection. To make this harder, we could reach the arms forwards into a long arm placement, shoulders down. Exhale, squeeze circle between the heel of your palms. Feel the chest muscles, the armpit muscles switch on, and inhale, gently release. Exhale, squeeze, and inhale, release. Good, I want you to get used to this feeling of establishing, drawing the arm itself into the shoulder socket. Good, so we feel like we're really recruiting around the head of this forearm, really strongly into the shoulder girdle. Good, now on this last one, we're going to hold the last press of the circle. We want the abdominals on, reach the arms forward into that long arm position, take a deep breath in. Exhale, keeping the rib cage drawing down towards the hip bones, float the arms up into a halo position for arm prep. Inhale, hands come down to chest height. Good, keep the squeeze on the circle, keep the abdominals strong. Exhale, arm prep. Ribs draw in and down towards the hip bones, shoulders down your back. Inhale, hands to chest. Good, exhale, arm prep. And inhale. Keep that small amount of resistance on the circle. Think about drawing the shoulders down. Think about drawing the arm itself into the armpit socket. Good. Keep it going. Exhale, arm prep. Ribs sink in and down. Inhale, hands come back down. Let's do 3 more. So for this, your arm prep, you want to feel like you're really switching on the obliques, which we are going to be working in the warm-up, as well as the exercises we do on our mat. We want to use them to support the neutral spine, particularly when we're using the shoulder socket and the resistance of the circle. Let's do 1 more. Exhale, arm prep, hold at the top, shoulders down from the ears. Take a deep breath in, squeezing on the circle. Exhale, reach over to lateral flexion. Think about dropping one of your rib cage, at the side of your rib cage to one hip. Inhale, bring yourself on upright. Keeping the hips level, exhale, arm, come into a lateral flexion with the squeeze of the circle, and inhale to center. Good, keep it going, exhale. Good, inhale. Think about this exhale as you deflating through one side of your lungs. Inhale to center. Keep the squeeze on the circle, the shoulders back and down. Good, as we deflate through one lung, we drop one side of the ribs down to one side of the hips. Inhale to center, exhale. Good, try not to lean back. We're not arching through the lower back. We want lateral side to side motions. Exhale over. Inhale, re-inflate to the center. 1 more each side, exhale. Inhale, keep those abdominals flattening. Exhale. Inhale to center. Good, slowly bring the circle down to chest height and relax the tension, beautiful. We're now going to place the padding of the magic circle on our sternum. We're going to wrap our hands around the circle itself and place your fingers gently onto the padding that is directly across from your sternum. Try to keep your circle flat here as if it was a tray. Now we're going to go into a slightly more bent knee position. And again, on your next exhale, I'd like you to switch on your transverse band of abdominals. Take a deep breath in and float the sternum. Think about the point where the padding of your circle is sitting as the point where you find that lovely upper back extension, lifting the sternum up and gently forwards. Good. Now I'd like you to think about your inside elbow joint, resting on the circle's edge. Take a deep breath in. You're going to drop your chin to your chest, looking through your circle. And now I want you to squeeze as you reach your fingertips forwards to come into a rounded back position, a small range of motion into your hugger tree. As you inhale, lift your chin upright and now squeeze the circle into your sternum to promote that lovely lift into that lovely soft opening of the upper back, coming into that nice soft back extension. Good. Keep your neutral spine through the lower back. Try not to let your bum lift. Try not to lose your abdominals. Again, take a deep breath in. Drop the chin to the chest, look down through the circle. Squeeze the inside of your elbow joint into the circle, creating almost an X shape to round your upper back forwards into this nice hugger tree. Good. As you inhale, think about lifting the chin, squeeze the circle towards your sternum to promote that lovely connection where you float your sternum gently forwards and upright, pressing into the circle. Good. Drop the chin to the chest, squeeze the inside of the elbow joint into the circle, creating a nice egg shape, rounding that circle, coming into that nice rounded back. And as you inhale, float the chin, press the circle into the sternum, press the sternum into the circle. Good, let's do two more. Drop the chin to the chest, exhale, squeeze the inside of the elbow joint into the circle. Think about creating an egg shape through that circle here. Good, then inhale, lift the chin. Think about pushing the sternum into the circle and push the circle into the sternum. Good, let's do one more. Chin to chest. Exhale, squeeze through the inside of the armpit and the elbow to create that nice egg shape. Round the upper back. Good, inhale, float the chin, squeeze towards the sternum, push the sternum forwards. Lovely. Have a little break, keep the sternum placed where it is. We're going to go into a little bit of a spine twist setting. Now, I want you to come back to that feeling of pressing the sternum into the circle as you press the circle into the sternum. You want that nice force to help you connect that nice neutral spine where the sternum is floating and you've got that lovely soft back extension of the upper spine. So from this position, come back to the soft bent knees and switch on through the T-zone with the deep exhale, flattening those abdominals from hip bone to hip bone. Take a deep breath in and begin to push the circle into the sternum as you push the sternum gently forwards. And you should feel like you're connected through that sternum and the circle. Keep that positioning of the circle braced against you. On your next exhale, we're going to rotate the circle and the chest line as one, keeping the hips facing forwards. Inhale to center, keep that press of the sternum into the circle. Exhale, spine twist. Rotating at the waistline underneath the rib cage. Inhale to center. Now your hips are non-moving, they should be facing forwards. So as you squeeze the circle into your sternum, you want to rotate through that upper rib cage around underneath the waistline, keeping the hips forwards, and then inhale to center. Good, keep pressing through the sternum and the circle. Exhale, spine twist. And inhale to center. Lovely, exhale, spine twist. Inhale to center, keep the knees soft. Try not to let the feet travel from the mat. Try to think about your hip bones staying facing forwards as if they were car lights, and they're lighting your way as you drive. Good, press the sternum forwards, don't lose that nice upper back connection into your resistance. Good, shoulders from the ears. Lovely, one more each way. Exhale, spine twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, spine twist. Good, inhale, center. Release the pressure off the sternum and the circle. And now bring your circle into your VMO. So you should be pretty comfortable with the placement. We did do this last week in our lower body workout. We want the circle just above the knees, not on the inner thigh itself, although you will be switching on those adductors to support the circle. Now you want to still have your feet more or less hip width, and you want to think about using the pressure of the circle to draw the femur bone into the hip socket. Now we want this small external rotation from femur knee. Keep the foot placement. Think about that second toe staying pressed onto the mat as well as the baby toe. Don't let the feet roll out. Keep that turn out of a gentle external rotation of your femur from your hip joint. We're going to go into stomach massage. Place your hands on your thighs. Shoulders back and down. Take a nice soft breath in. Drop the chin to the chest. Begin to push the bum back. Now keep the pressure on the circle as we lower down into a squat position, softly bending the knees. Keep this position. Take a deep breath in. Tuck the chin all the way under. Look at your heels. Now pressing inwards through your circle, you're going to scoop your belly as you round your upper back, pressing your hands into your thighs. Round your upper back towards the ceiling, and then begin to roll yourself upright one vertebrae at a time, lifting your crown. Take a deep breath in at the top. Remember that external rotation of the femur from the hip joint, the second toe still on the mat. Push the bum back first. Now as the bum begins to lower back and down, we want the tailbone to be gently lowered. We're going to bend down through the knees, gently exhale, running the hands down the thighs. Take a deep breath in, drop the chin to the chest, look all the way under. Exhale, scoop through the abdominals, press inwards onto your circle, round your upper back, push your hands into your thighs and roll on up. Stack the vertebrae as you lift your crown tall. Take a deep breath in. We're going to do two more. Drop the chin to the chest, push the bum back and down. Neutral spine as we push back through the hips. We don't want to arch through the lower back. So as we softly bend through the knees, we should feel like we're not arching, lifting the tailbone, splaying through the buttocks and the pelvic floor. Drop the chin to the chest. Take a deep breath in, looking at the heels. Exhale, squeezing into the circle, round through the upper back, scoop the abdominals. Press yourself on up to the top and roll. A deep breath in. Our last one, drop chin to chest, push back through the tailbone, push it down as you push your hips back, bending through the knees, running the hands down the thighs. Drop the chin to the chest, inhale, look at those heels. Last one, squeeze inwards on the circle, scoop through the abdominals, round the upper back, push hands into thighs. Really round it as we roll on up. Keep squeezing the circle, stack the vertebrae. Take a deep breath in at the top. Now you're going to run your hands down your thighs once more. Slowly take the resistance off of the circle and place it by the side of your mat. Bring yourself down either through rolling or through that low lunge position, coming down onto the mat. Grab hold of the circle. Come into supine, laying on your back. Good. We're going to warm up through the abdominals to support a little bit more of this chest and back work before we come up into seated. Now the feet are hip width. Your hip bones, your knees, your second toe have that beautiful line of alignment. Equally, you have a nice neutral spine. You know that you switch on those abdominals without rolling and compressing the lumbar spine into the mat. Get yourself ready by placing the circle back between the heel of your palms. Now take a deep breath in and switch on lifting the pelvic floor first, the squeeze of front and back passage. From this position, exhale to think about flattening those abdominals from hip bone to hip bone, the leather belt reappearing over the hips. Come into that small amount of chest squeeze by pressing the circle between the heels of your palms. Keep the abdominals switched on. Inhale, gently release the squeeze. Exhale, squeezing through the circle, creating that tension through the chest. The abdominals staying on. Inhale to release. Let's do three. Exhale, squeeze. Don't let your shoulders lift up to your earlobes. Allow the neck to stay long and relaxed. Exhale, press heels into the heel of the palm, into the circle. Keep the abdominals working. Inhale. Release that squeeze. One more. We're going to press inwards onto the circle, creating our chest press. Take a deep breath in and lengthen the arms. Now we want to think about drawing the armpit tight into the chest, and we want to think about the arm drawing into the armpit socket. Keep the squeeze on the circle. Take a deep breath in. On your next exhale, let's float 1 foot from the mat to single leg tabletop. We're going to lengthen the leg from the hip bone to the toe. Exhale to lower. Keep the squeeze of the circle. Inhale, knee to tabletop, place the foot down, change sides. Press the circle inwards as you exhale, float the foot from the mat. Extend the leg from hip to toe and exhale to lower. Good, inhale to bend the knee over the hip joint, place it down to keep squeezing through the armpit. Exhale, extend and exhale to lower. How far down you take the leg depends on you holding a nice neutral spine. We don't want any movement through the pelvis. Good, inhale, knee to tabletop, over the hip bone and down. Good, let's do a few more. Exhale, lift and extend. Keep squeezing, pressing, feeling the chest and the back working through the resistance of the circle. We're going to be layering up these exercises shortly. Let's do one more each side on this lift and extend. Beautiful. Lovely. Good, come back to the mat. Take a deep breath in. If you need a little break, rest the circle in your chest. Keep squeezing through the heels of your palms. Stay switched on if possible. We're going to exhale, start to reach overhead to that arm prep, sinking the ribs down towards the hip bones. Exhale. Shoulders from the ears. Inhale, hands come over chest. Release the little squeeze on the circle. Squeeze the heels of your palms into the circle. As you exhale to reach overhead, sink the ribs down towards the hips. Exhale, shoulders from the earlobes. Inhale, hands come over the chest. Good, press inwards. Exhale. Inhale. A little release in the center. Squeeze. Exhale, arm prep. Ribs in and down towards the hip bones. Keep the abdominals flattening. Inhale, hands over chest. Good, keep it going for your arm prep here. Think about the shoulders, drawing down away from the earlobes. Press inwards through the circle. Exhale, arm prep. Good, inhale, hands over chest. One more. Squeeze. Exhale, arm prep. Inhale, circle over the chest. Bring the circle to rest. Good. Now we're going to go back to that arm prep, into that leg positioning from the previous exercise. I'll lift and extend. We're going to move into our bicycle legs. So for this, you could work single leg, come back to the previous exercise if you choose. I'm going to switch back onto my T-zone. Inhale, pelvic floor. Exhale, flattening the abdominals from hip bone to hip bone. Pressing inwards on the circle to switch on the chest and the back. Lengthening the arms from the chest to make this harder. Squeeze the armpit in towards the rib cage, shoulders from your ears. I'm going to exhale, keep the press on the circle, float one leg into tabletop. Working from this position, you can go back to your lift and extend, or flattening through the abdominals, drawing the belly button a little bit deeper, not the lower back to the mat. As I squeeze, exhale, float the second leg from the mat. Good. From this positioning, I'm going to alternate that leg extension that we did previously. Holding one leg still, I'm going to extend one leg, squeezing the circle, exhale, lower. Inhale, knee to tabletop. Keep the abdominals flattening. Squeeze the circle, extend, exhale, lower. Good, inhale, come back to tabletop. Squeeze, shoulders from the ears. Think about the armpit muscle drawing towards the side of the rib cage. Think about the chest muscles switching on and drawing the forearm into the shoulder. Good. Extension and lower on the exhale. Inhale, tabletop, knee over hip. Good, keep it going. Beautiful work. Now for those of you that want a little bit more through this exercise, you can curl the upper body from the mat. Two legs will be back in tabletop. Squeeze on the circle to switch on the chest and back. We're going to take a deep breath in. On the exhale, drop the chin lightly to the chest. You're going to sink the ribs towards the hips, start to curl the upper body from the mat, flattening through those abdominals. Keep the press on the circle. Go for your leg extension and lower. Bring the knees back to tabletop. Keep the knees floating just under the rim of the circle. We want the upper body gently curled from the mat, the ribs drawn towards the hips, the flattened abdominals at the front of the pelvis. Shoulders from the ears. Keep the press of the circle. Think about switching on by drawing the forearm into the shoulder socket. Good. Chin lightly tucked to chest. One more each side. Last one, extension, exhale, lower. Inhale, come back to tabletop. Rest the upper body down, bring knees to rest. Just lightly over the chest. Good, take a deep breath in and out. We're going back into that position to continue on. I'm going to add in my arms into my arm prep and move into a double leg extension. If you don't want to, come back to your arm prep exercise from previously with the feet in single leg tabletop or double leg tabletop if you'd like, or both feet can come back to the ground. I'm coming back to my tabletop, my knees aligned over my hip bones, my abdominals are flattening to support my neutral spine. I don't want to press my lower back into the mat. From this positioning, take a deep breath in, squeeze on the circle. Switch on the chest and back muscles, extend the circle directly over the chest. Beautiful. From this positioning, it could be a single leg extension with arm prep. I'll show you that here. We're going to keep the squeeze as we extend one leg and exhale to lower. We're going to extend the arms overhead. Ribs want to sink in and down. Inhale, hands over chest, knees over that hip in tabletop. Other side, extension. Exhale, pressing onto the circle. Sink the ribs in and down. Extend and lower that leg. Inhale to tabletop, hands over chest. Squeeze, extension and lower. Good. Inhale, hands over chest, shoulders from ears. If this is as far as you take this exercise, beautiful. If you want to incorporate double leg stretch, we're going to squeeze the heels together. Press into the circle, shoulders from the ears. Flattening through the abdominals, I want you to extend the legs from the hip joint. As you exhale to lower the legs to 45 degrees, extend the arms overhead, ribs sinking in and down. Inhale, knees over hips, hands over chest. Good. We can have a small extension of both legs at 45 if the abdominals and back support it. If not, you could have one foot down and still work in that lovely single leg extension. Or you could have 2 feet off the ground, but work in one leg extension. Whatever works for you. Good. Remember, squeezing the heels together if you're in your double leg extension. Try only to take the legs to that 45-degree positioning, so we're not straining through the lower back. We shouldn't be popping the tummy forwards. We want to flatten on the exhale as we extend the arms overhead, ribs in and down. Press the heels together, extend. Inhale. Good, let's do 2 more. Extension on the exhale. Inhale to tabletop, hands over chest, last one. Good. Come back to the ground, 1 foot at a time. Rest the circle on your chest and have a little break. Excellent. From this positioning, the circle goes back in between our VMO, between those thighs, just above the knees. If you can, keep the circle flat. My circle's a little bit too wide for my pelvis, hence why it's at this 45-degree slanted angle. If you can keep a flat circle like a serving tray, please try to focus on that here. Now we do want to think about realigning the knees to those hip bones. We want the inside and the outside sole of the foot on the mat. Don't pronate through the ankles and lose that inner thigh connection. In fact, this external rotation should be from the thigh bone in the hip joint itself, not the knees. So try to prevent the knees dropping out. Try to prevent rolling through that inside sole of the foot. Stay connected to the mat through the big toe, the second toe, and that little toe. From this positioning, try to think about your neutral spine. That's not you compressing lumbar spine into the mat. Switch on pelvic floor first on the inward breath. And it may mean you realigning those knees more towards the hip bone positioning and that external rotation of the thigh joint in the hip socket itself. Then on the exhale, we want to flatten the abdominals from hip bone to hip bone. So we're switching on that 1-inch band muscle over the hips. Bring the hands behind the head, elbows wide, chest open. Take a deep breath in, lightly tuck the chin towards the chest and lengthen the back of the neck. Place the weight of your skull in your hands. On your exhale, we're going to sink the ribs towards the hips, scoop out the abdominals. Press the circle gently inwards to keep the knees from flopping outwards as we gently peel the upper body from the mat. Inhale to lower the upper body down slowly. Good, let's do tempo on this one. Exhale to curl, sink the ribs towards the hips, scoop the abdominals to peel the upper body off. Keep squeezing the circle inward so we don't lose that pelvic placement. Inhale, lower the upper body down slowly. I'd like you to come up on the exhale to the count of 3. Chin to chest, try and lengthen the back of the neck. Exhale for 3, 2, 1. Good, and inhale back down for 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Exhale. And inhale. Now, I know that the inner thigh connection may be fatiguing, but I want you to really think about your pelvic placement. Try to not let the circle press your knees outwards, and don't let your inner foot connection, or your inner foot sole, I should say, pronate from the mat. Keep that second toe, big toe on the mat. Keep thinking about pressing inwards on the circle on the exhale as you sink the ribs towards the hips, flattening or scooping your bowl of abdominals to peel your head and shoulders from the mat. Lovely. Let's do 3. Exhale and inhale. No movement through that pelvis, please. No movement through the lower back. Sink the ribs towards the hips in front. Scoop out that belly. Inhale to roll back. Last one. Exhale. Beautiful. Inhale. Good. From this positioning, we're going to take hold of our circle. Slowly release the inner thigh connection. Place the circle to the side. Roll over onto your side. Push yourself on up. Lovely. Let's take a seated position. We're going to come into a half roll back exercise and utilize the circle. We're going to begin with the circle back in the VMO for those of you that find it supports your pelvis. If you don't want to, the circle could be placed in your hands, and the second exercise in half roll back will incorporate that placement. Now here with the circle back in the VMO, again, we want our knees more aligned to our hip bones. If you can hold a horizontal circle, beautiful. Again, my circle's too large for my pelvis. Please don't hold that against me. You do want to think about realigning your knees and keeping the inner foot on the mat. You want this external rotation coming from the femur at the hip joint. I cannot stress that enough. So keep the placement of the knees aligned to the hips. Now you can place your hands underneath your thighs, just below the pads where the circle rests. You want to sit as upright as possible. Check yourself in a mirror if you need to, that your tailbone starts in this vertical placement. Your ribs are lifted over your hips, shoulders are down. Take a deep breath in. From this point, you want to be able to activate your pelvic floor on the inward breath. So the squeeze and lift of front and back passage muscles are much easier in this upright seated position. Pop something underneath your tailbone if you need to sit a little bit more upright. Good. On the exhale, pressing inwards on the circle to create tension. We want to flatten through the abdominals from hip bone to hip bone. We don't want to push the tummy forwards. We want flattened abdominals. Take a deep breath in. Now I'm going to begin by releasing my tailbone from the vertical position, dropping it down underneath the pelvis. From this point, I want to keep the pressure on the circle as I gently drop the chin to the chest, roll back, sinking the ribs towards the hip bones. Scooping out that bowl of abdominal, I'm in this lovely C-curve spine position. My neck is not stressed, my shoulders are not up in my earlobes. Take a deep breath in, and then on the next exhale, I would like you to use your arms, pressing inwards on the circle through the inner thighs, to roll your forehead to the edge of the circle. Look how close I am to the circle's edge, and then I want to inhale, lift myself on upright. For those of you that feel like you're losing your leg placement, place your hands onto the side of the knee joint. Press inwards using a little bit of tension through the arms. Sit upright, inhale. Begin to tuck the pelvis underneath you first. Now as you tuck the tailbone underneath you, squeeze through the circle, start to lower the ribs towards the hips, the chin to the chest, sink back into this lovely rounded position. Take a deep breath in. Good. On the exhale, we're scooping out the bowl of abdominals in front as we use our hands to pull our forehead towards our knees, and then we're going to inhale, sit upright. Let's do 3 more of this half roll back just to get the motion. Use your hands to press inwards on the circle through the knees if you need. Keep the inside of the foot on the mat. Sit upright, inhale. On the exhale, as we lower the tailbone underneath the pelvis first into that C-curve position, squeeze inward through the circle. Flatten or scoop the abdominals as we sink the ribs towards the hips. Chin to chest as we gently roll back. Good, take a deep breath in. Squeezing through the circle, scooping through the abdominals, roll the forehead towards the brim of the circle, exhale, and then inhale. Lovely, 2 more. Press inwards, drop the tailbone under first, Chin to chest, scoop as we release the ribs towards the hips. Exhale. A deep breath in. Exhale. Ribs drop towards the hips to scoop out that bowl of abdominals. Draw the forehead towards the brim of the circle. Inhale, upright. Last one. Pressing inwards. Exhale, release the tailbone. Chin to chest, ribs towards hips. Scoop out that bowl of abdominals. Good. Inhale to hold. Exhale, pressing through the circle. Scooping through the abdominals. Roll the forehead towards the brim of the circle. And then inhale, sit upright. Lovely. Take hold of the circle, release it from the VMO. Good. Now you should have that nice release through the inner thighs now that you've lost the torture device. We're going to position the circle now between the palms. We're going to come back to that chest squeeze that we learned in warm-up, initiated in our mat work when we're laying on our back. Now we're going to add on to the half roll back. If you don't want to, stick with half roll back. For this, the circle is now going to be placed in a long arm position, back on the bottom heel of my palm. Pressing inwards on the circle, I want to switch on my pelvic floor, lifting my tailbone vertical. Inhale. Exhale, abdominals want to flatten away from the front of your thighs, from hip bone to hip bone. Keep the press on the circle. Draw that arm into the armpit socket. Squeeze the armpit into the side of the ribs. Good. As you did before, pressing inwards through your imaginary knee circle if you need. You're going to drop your tailbone underneath you. Look how the tailbone releases into that rounded position. Scooping out through the abdominals, drop the chin to the chest. Shoulders are relaxed from the earlobes. We want the ribs towards the hips. Good, take a deep breath in here. Now keep the heels on the mat, press inwards through the circle, rotate over one knee. Exhale, inhale to center. Turn the head with the circle. Exhale, squeezing inwards on the circle. Rotate the circle across one knee. Inhale to center. Good. Do one more each side. Exhale for Make-A-Wish rotation. Inhale to center. Push down through your heels. Scoop out through that tummy. Exhale, rotation. Inhale to center. Shoulders back and down. Here we're going to roll back on up. Pressing inwards on the circle. Pressing through the heels. Scooping through the abdominals. Round the forehead towards the knees. Reach the circle towards the front of the feet. And then inhale, lift upright. Good, let's go again. Pressing inwards on the circle, exhale, tailbone release first. Chin to chest, exhale, roll back. Scooping out to the abdominals. Take a deep breath in. You want the circle to be squeezed between the heels of your palm. Press down through the heels as we exhale, rotate across one knee. Now we want to be looking through the rim of our circle. Inhale to center. Good, exhale, rotate across. Shoulders from the ears. Inhale to center. One more each side. Keep the pelvis on the mat. This rotation is at the waistline like your spine twist. One more on the exhale. Inhale to center. Keep the abdominals flattening. Press inwards on the circle. Exhale, scoop on out, rolling the forehead towards the knees. Reach the circle towards the feet. Inhale, lift. Let's go for one more round. Sit upright. Take a nice deep breath in. Press inwards through the circle. Exhale, roll back. Tailbone, chin to chest, abdominals flattening, ribs to hips. Take a deep breath in. Push your heels down, keep yourself grounded. Circle squeeze, we exhale, rotate into Make-A-Wish. Inhale to center, shoulders from the ears. Exhale, Make-A-Wish. Inhale to center, one more each side. As you rotate over the thigh, allow the head to turn, you're looking through your circle. Inhale to center. Exhale, one more. Inhale to center. On the exhale, scoop through the abdominals, roll the forehead towards the knees, reach the circle towards the front of the feet. Inhale, lift. Beautiful. Good. Take a nice relaxed position, cross-legged or straight-legged V-sit if you choose. I'm getting hot by the fire, I need to move away. We're going to do some lovely simple arm work exercises before we move into full-point kneeling to finish. From this positioning, you can always come back to your chest squeezes if you'd like, and this is where we begin. We're going to learn a series of exercises and layer them. From seated position, sit as tall as you can, very similar to the seated position we just established, the tailbone as vertical as possible. Yes, vertical. From that, we want the rib cage over the hips, lift the sternum as if you were coming back to that pressing sternum. into the circle that we had in the warm-up. Good. Inhale, lift the pelvic floor, and on the exhale, flatten through the abdominals, switching on the transverse belt at the hip to hip line. Good. Now that we've established our abdominal connection, press the circle between the heel of your palm. Good. Reach it forwards. Good. Take a deep breath in. Press inwards on the circle on the exhale and inhale, release. Keep drawing that forearm into the shoulder, shoulders from the ears. Exhale, chest squeeze. Inhale, release. Good. Exhale, chest squeeze. Inhale, release. Keep going. Exhale and inhale. I want you to feel your armpit muscle switching on as you lightly tug or pull your armpit towards the side of your ribcage. And I want you to feel the shoulders stabilizing to work against the resistance. Sit upright as much as you can. Keep that tailbone in that nice long position. Keep the pressure off your lower back by keeping those abdominals nice and tight, working through the first level of our arm series, our chest press. Good. Now in a moment, we're going to establish the chest press and hold it. Make it this one. Exhale, squeeze on the circle through the heel of your palm. Shoulders from your ears. Take a deep breath in. We're going to exhale for arm prep on up. We're going to hold the circle as a halo over the head. Shoulders from the ears. From this positioning, squeezing into the circle. Exhale, bend at the elbows. Lower the circle down as a visor over the eye line. And then inhale, lift the arms. Keep pressing on the circle. Exhale, bending at the elbows, shoulders from the ears. Inhale, lift. Good. Exhale, shoulder press. And inhale to lift. You're doing really well. Exhale. And inhale. Beautiful. Try not to lift the shoulder on up as you lengthen the arm from armpit to fingertip. Try to think about the shoulders staying down. Try to think about sitting as upright as you can, keeping those abdominals flattening. Exhale. And inhale. Beautiful. Let's do 3. Exhale and inhale. Exhale. Inhale. On your last one, exhale, shoulder press. Inhale, lengthen shoulders down, turning to the side. We're going to keep the squeeze on the circle, bending, pressing the elbows forwards. We lower the circle down, down the back of our headline. Inhale, extend the arms. As you exhale, draw the shoulder blades down, push through the circle, push the elbows forwards. Inhale. Good. Squeeze the circle. Exhale, push the elbows forwards for triceps. Inhale. Now, if you're getting backache, you can lean gently forwards. You can take the pressure off of the lower back and the tailbone. Try to keep the back as straight as possible and in neutral. Try not to let the tailbone, do not sink the chest forwards. Think about pushing the elbows forwards, coming into that nice tricep, back of the arm work. Let's do 3. Really lean with this exercise. Shoulders down, 2. And 1. Come back to the halo positioning. Take a deep breath in. Keep squeezing the circle. Lower it down to the chest line. Release. Roll the shoulders. Nice. Beautiful work. Now, as you loosen off through the shoulders, we're now going to take it into 4-point kneeling. 4-point kneeling, we're going to begin with some lovely chest press level 1 exercises. So we're going to position the circle now floating on the pad of the circle on the mat, and we're going to bring our sternum to rest on the top pad. So from this positioning, the circle rim should be below your chin. If it's too far forwards and you're quite high up in the chest, you're going to hit the circle as you lower. So try to think about placing the circle on the bottom edge of the sternum and try to make sure the padding is supporting that chest plate here. Now we're going to bring our hands underneath our shoulders. We want our knee alignment over the hip. So as you can see here, I've already switched on. So if I switch off, you may be more familiar with this back positioning in 4-point kneeling. Try not to press against the circle yet. Push away from the ground to activate the chest. Draw the shoulder blades down. As you take your soft breath in, remember that you don't want your tailbone lifting up. You actually want your tailbone softly drawing towards your heels. Don't arch through your back. Think about a nice neutral position. As we exhale, we want to lift the abdominals off the circle's edge, drawing them inside the front of the pelvis. flattening from hip bone to hip bone, shoulders from the ears. Just keeping the hands at shoulder level, but as wide as your mat. Take a deep breath in. We're going to push down on the circle, lowering the head down between the hands. Press the elbows back towards the side of your body. Take a deep exhale and slowly push yourself up to the count of 1, 2, and 3. Try to draw the shoulder blades down, don't lift them up. So again, we're going to lower down on the inhale, head coming down between the hands. Try to draw the elbows back towards your sides. Try to think about lengthening the back of your neck. On the exhale, to the count of 3, 2, 1, we want to push up away from the circle, let the circle expand. Good, inhale down, shoulders from the ears, remember abdominals flat from hip bone to hip bone. Exhale, 3, 2, 1, push on up. Lovely, supported level 1 press up, really working with the resistance. Exhale. Good, so this is a nice exercise to warm up the chest and the back. You really want to think about the support of the circle, allowing you to switch on and think about your spinal alignment. So in this position, you can probably see, as I lower my head, I'm thinking about my abdominals staying flat, and the circle is providing me support. If I was to take the circle away and not have the abdominals on, I'd probably have this lower back arch, and I'd be pushing up, splaying open through my pelvic floor at the back. I want to resist that temptation. Draw the tailbone down, keep the abdominals flat. Keep it going for your level 1. If you find that the pressure of the circle on your sternum is too much, you can take it away. But I really like the support that the circle gives you to establish a nice neutral spine. Make sure as we go through our final 3 that you're really supporting, shoulders drawing down. You're using the exhale to the count of 3 as you press on up to think about your abdominals staying lifted. 3, 2, 1. Good, one more. Now on the last one, we want to hold that last extension of the arms, and we want to bring the hands back to the shoulder placement. You can switch off your abdominals for a little rest if you'd like, but I'm moving straight into my swimming arm and leg. Shoulders down. Taking a deep breath in, I'm lifting through the pelvic floor once more and exhaling to think about those flattening abdominals. Opposite arm and leg is going to exhale, reach on out. I want to keep my circle floating. Try not to lose the balance. As we exhale, we're going to squeeze our glute to lift the foot from the mat and draw the shoulder blade down to lift it from the mat here. Inhale, come back. Place the hand and foot down. Try not to wiggle through the circle. Exhale, reach on out. Draw a straight line in front and behind your pelvis. Shoulder blades down. Squeeze your bum to lift your foot, maybe a paper's width from the mat. Draw the shoulder blade down your back to lift your hand. Place the hand and foot down. Inhale, come back on in. Now it could be just the extension that you're working in. You want to still squeeze the glute as you extend the leg. Keep the hips level. You can still draw the shoulder blades down as you extend the arm. Those of you that are working in that higher level, the hand and foot could reach at shoulder and hip height, but I want you to think about, is my circle still balanced on the circle's edge? Are my hips staying level? Are my shoulder blades down? I hope there's no tension in your neck here. Good, let's go for 2 on each side. Exhale. Draw down through the shoulders, squeeze the glute. Hips want to stay level as much as you can. Inhale, come back on in. Working really hard now to keep the circle as balanced as you can. Good, our last one. Good, come back to your box. Pop your circle flat. Take a deep breath in, pull your bum back towards your heels. Rest down in your child's pose or on bent forearms. Take a little breather. Beautiful. We're nearly at the end of our full workout here. We're going to go back to press up, possibly working at level 2 or 3 if you wish. Use your circle for support if you'd like. I'm coming back on up. Now, if you are working at level 2, the circle positioning is the same. It's still on the lower end of the sternum, on that nice bottom third of the rib cage. But the placement of the head is in front of your hands. So coming into that position is a little bit tricky. Come back to your box position if you want to. I'm going to realign myself. And I'm going to walk my circle's edge slightly forward. So at the moment, the padding is not resting on the mat. Now from your level 1 position, where your hands are at shoulder height and as wide as the box. You can walk your hands 1 or 2 paces forwards and now realign your head in front of your hands. For your level 2, you want an incline, so you may have to push your knees gently back. Your hands are still as wide as your mat, shoulder blades down. Take a deep breath in. We're going to lower down, pressing down through the circle. I want you to push the circle into the mat in your level 2. Head comes down towards the mat's edge. Take a deep exhale to the count of 3, 2, 1. Pushing up away from the circle. Good. At the top, check. Are my abdominals on? Are my tailbone softly lowered? Hopefully so. Inhale down, press your sternum into the circle to flatten it into the mat. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Push yourself on up. Lovely. Keep going for your 10 repetitions, really utilizing the circle. The same cueing as level 1. You want to draw your elbows back towards the side of your body. You want your shoulders down at all times. We want to utilize those abdominals, particularly in level 2. For those of you that are working back in the level 1 positioning, hands are still as wide as the box. The head goes down between the hands. And exhale to push up to the count of 3. Those of you wanting to work into your full level 3 press up, you'll come into your box position. You're going to lengthen the legs. So place the circle on the mat against the sternum. Shoulder blades down, hands as wide as the mat. Head in front of the fingertips, lengthen both legs from the mat. Now don't push your hips up. Keep drawing the tailbone down. Keep those abdominals flattening. We're going to inhale down. Keep the elbows drawn back, shoulders from the ears. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Abdominals want to lift as we push on off. Good. You could do your 10 repetitions here with the support of the circle. Of course, at any instance, you can take the circle away. If you're struggling to get your full level 3 press up, you're just missing that little bit of support, this could add to that. This could help you get to your level 3. Once you've done your 10 repetitions in either 1, 2, or 3, you're going to bring your knees back to the box position, hands back underneath the shoulders, a deep breath in, pull the buttocks back towards the heels, lay the circle flat, reach the fingertips forwards and have a nice child's prayer, dropping the forehead onto the mat to rest. Have a little wiggle side to side through the rib cage, dropping the armpits to the side one at a time. Try to pull the buttocks back towards the heels as much as you can. And those of you that may need to open up the knees to release the hips can do so here. Once you've had a little bit of a rest, bring yourself on up. Let's do a little mermaid to finish. Finishing your session with a lovely side stretch. You can have cross-legged for this one. I'm going to be sitting at a 45-degree box through each knee. This requires good external rotation through your hip. So if you are not comfortable in this position, don't do it. Sit cross-legged. I've got a 45-degree angle through both knees. One knee is externally rotated, and I'm going to try and keep my hips as level, my hip bones on the mat as much as possible. If you need to, you can pop something underneath the glute of this externally rotated thigh to help you stay grounded. The circle is going to be balanced, and it's going to be one arm's length away from you. You want to keep that nice bottom heel of your palm onto the padding, and we want to sit as upright as much as possible. Take a nice soft breath in. Remember, you want to lift your pelvic floor to support. As you exhale, switch on the transverse abdominals, flat from hip bone to hip bone. Take a deep breath in. We're going to lengthen one arm on up towards shoulder height if possible. Now on the exhale, you're going to push your heel down into the circle as we reach over, opening up one side rib to hip as we draw one side rib to hip closed for our side mermaid. Then we're going to inhale, float the arm on, up at shoulder height and down. Let's do another one of those. Inhale, arm on up, directly in line with the shoulders, stay tall. As you exhale, push your hand down into the circle. Think about drawing your ribs towards the hips on one side. Reach the opposite arm up and over, coming into some nice side opening stretch. Lateral flexion on one side, and then inhale, undo. Good, let's do 3 more. Inhale up. Keep yourself tall, press down through the circle. Exhale, drawing one rib to hip closed on one side. Push down through the resistance as you reach up and over. Inhale. Slowly bring your ribs over your hips. Release the press on the circle. 2 more. Inhale up, sorry. Exhale over. inhale, and down. One more, keep the hips as level as you can, reach on up, inhale, exhale, inhale, and down. Let's change sides. Position the circle, balanced on its edge, arms length away from you. Press the bottom heel of your palm into the circle. You can change your leg positioning or you can come to cross-legged, staying in cross-legged if you choose. Remember that we want to keep the hips as level as possible, but if your external rotation doesn't allow you to keep your glutes on the mat, pop something underneath the glute of this externally rotated leg. Try to keep the hips as level as you can. Sit upright, inhale, pelvic floor, exhale, transverse abdominals. Arm floats on up, inhale, over the shoulder. Now as we exhale, we push down through the circle, releasing the ribs to hips on one side, as we reach up and over to open up the rib and hip on the opposite side. Good. Inhale, slowly undo, come back to ribs over hips. I'm very close to my fireplace, it's very hot. Inhale, float the arm on up, push down, exhale, reach. Try to keep the hips as level as you can, buttocks on the mat. Good, inhale. Lovely, 3 more. For those of you that are sitting in this 45-45 position, make sure there's no pain in the front of that hip joint. If there is, come back to cross-legged, please. Good. 2 more. Inhale, arm on up. Shoulders from the ears, please. Exhale. Beautiful, inhale. Our final one. Reach on up, inhale, hand over shoulder, shoulder from ear. Press down through the circle, exhale, reach up and over. Think about that nice stretch from rib to hip. And then inhale, slowly bring the ribs over the hips. Release the circle, well done. Beautiful, so that was your upper body warm workout using the magic circle. Hopefully you liked it. If you do, please send me any feedback through Mignon or myself. And I'd love to hear how you got on. I will see you next week. I hope you have a lovely week. Thanks. Bye.